is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
All you have to do is you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Power Price Event, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, new 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power Price, $99 per month lease, $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition, $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox, $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs, $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price Event, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It has become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
It's time now for the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. From the smallest towns to the biggest cities, watch the Iowa girl compete for the title of state champion. CISN.TV's coverage of the state tournament is presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers. Also brought to you by the Iowa Pork Producers, Shields, Fairway Foods, Buena Vista University, the Better Business Bureau. Now let's go courtside at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines for state tournament basketball.
It's another great morning of high school girls basketball. It's day 3 of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Girls Basketball Tournament from inside Wells Fargo Arena. He's Dar Danielson. I'm Paul Yeager. Dar, good to see you again.
You too.
Looking good. You're looking sharp.
Well, I
for
got a little more,
here for too long.
More rest last night, but today's a gooder day. Gooder day. Yeah.
Should we do it again? Take 2. Let's 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Today's a better day because it's a little shorter day for us to be here, but
only 6 games.
Yeah. And had some good games yesterday. Some tight games. A few games that weren't so tight, and probably the ones that had the largest spread in the tournament so far yesterday. But should be another interesting day here as we finish up 2A and head to 1A.
But the story of today's tournament is on the court behind us, and that's the Dike New Hartford warm-up pants. Those are the best pants.
That just makes them look taller too, doesn't it, those stripes?
I've tried to wear vertical stripes like that, and it doesn't help me.
They did. I was telling you before that Janesville wore those like right up to, I think, my junior year in high school, and then they got new ones. But, yeah, I always thought they were kind of cool. Those stripes.
There's a ball there. They need you to. Could you get that? There you go. Oh, what a kick save. That's going to go all the way down to the Dar Danielson Memorial Coffee spill spot.
Yeah.
So yesterday we started with 4A, then we went to 3A, had a couple of 2A. Today we finished the 2A and go to 1A.
1A, and that'll finish all the quarterfinals. We'll have the semifinals all set for semifinal Thursday.
So yesterday we started with Lamar's and Council Bluffs Lewis Central, and 1-for-1 on an upset.
Yeah, and Lamar's really hung on. They got a lead, and then, every run back at them, they seemed to hold it off and ended up winning that ball game. It was a great ball game.
Cold shooting by Lewis Central sent them home again after a loss in the first round. Then we went to Class 3A, South Tama and Crestwood. That was a roll for the Cadets of Northeast Iowa. Then it was North Polk over Davenport Assumption. Mild upset, just seed number. The bottom seed wins there, but North Polk was pretty much in control of this game the whole way.
Yeah, they came out and kind of dictated everything and got the lead again and held them off, and Davenport Assumption just could not find any way to get back into that ball game and get the lead back at the end.
And that is, so that'll set up Crestwood versus North Tama, or I'm sorry, North Polk.
North Polk.
And that game will be on Thursday afternoon. Then it was Monticello over Clear Lake and Sioux Center holding serve against Red Oak.
Yeah, and Monticello Clear Lake was a close game. I mean, the score ended up 11, but it was pretty close.
Much closer
throughout.
than that.
And then, again, as happens, late free throws and things, when the game was tight, and then it expanded out, Monticello win. And then that Sioux Center raced out, and I mean raced out to the lead in that first quarter. Red Oak recovered, and I think had they done a little better in that first quarter, because then Red Oak, if you like seeing pressing, running basketball, that was the game for you yesterday. There was a lot of that going on, but Red Oak just could not get the lead. They got it down, I think, to 4 at one point, but that was as far as they could get. And Sioux Center thinks it looks like you're catching up with them, and next thing you know, you blink and you're down another 8 points.
And that is what Sioux Center will do, and you will see Sioux Center in the 3A semifinal, 6:45 Thursday night.
Right. Then we got into 2A, and Trainer handled West Sioux pretty easily in that, the number 1 seed, and that played out in the seeding there, where Trainer handled that pretty well.
Then we saved one of the best games for last. Grundy Center and Iowa City Regina. Regina without the services of one of their better player, and Alex Weiss, but Mary Crompton did her part. She scored 20, but it was just too much of that junior class from Grundy Center. They're feeling the support and the confidence from volleyball, and it's carried over to basketball.
Yeah, and we got down to a situation there at the end of the game where Grundy Center had only like 3 team fouls, and it was a 1-point ball game, and Iowa City Regina had the ball. Then you decide, do you try to foul them? And they foul them a couple times. Then it gets into, do we foul them each time in? Well, they didn't. And then they ended up getting 3 shots.
I know.
They took a 3 and got 2 rebound shots, and they just could not go at the end.
I did post the video on my public Paul Yeager Facebook page if you want to go back. But you can also go back, Dar, and watch all the games on YouTube. YouTube and then search for CISN.TV. All the games are archived there, but we're streaming 6 games today, 2A and 1A. We will talk about those in just a tiny little bit, but next we're going to talk with another representative from the Girls Union, and it's going to be Tom Florian. He's going to step into Darcy, and we'll ask him a little bit about more of the business side of things as we get you ready for day 3.
Final quarterfinal day. Then
final
we have the
quarterfinal day. That's on a shirt, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's available outside section 106. Yeah. All right, we're back after this. This is coverage from first whistle to the last horn on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Spring has arrived at the all-new Fireplace Superstore. Drop in and check out all the new 2017 patio furniture. At Fireplace Superstore, you will find Central Iowa's most complete outdoor furniture selection for your deck and patio, including gas and charcoal grills, fire pits, and wicker furniture. Get in on the early spring savings going on now. Fireplace Superstore has been creating your outdoor style for over 35 years. Fireplace Superstore just west of Homeacres on Douglas in Urbandale.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on CISN.TV. Paul Yeager courtside with Tom Florian, who, if you don't recognize him, there's probably a reason for that. He's only 3 months on the job, Tom, and here you are sitting in the second row of the tournament watching everything unfold. Welcome to Wells Fargo Arena and the Girls State Tournament.
Thank you very much. Yeah, happy to be here. It's been an exciting first 2 days, ready for day number 3, and we'll get going here shortly.
So your job, tell us a little bit about what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis now.
You bet, yeah. So I came in as the coordinator of business development. My main responsibilities include the corporate marketing and corporate partnerships for the Girls Athletic Union. So I work a lot with our proud title partner, Iowa Farm Bureau, Fairway, Univista University, Iowa Pork Producers, to name a few, and then obviously Mid-American Energy, who's the provider of this digital stream through CISN TV. So, and it's been good.
And that's where I'm supposed to say, if it wasn't for those folks, they wouldn't be able to bring this stream to you. And that's important for us as CISN, also at Iowa Public Television, and also for the union as well.
Yeah, it's been great. All of our partners, obviously those partners particularly sponsor the stream and everything like that, but we have many other partners that just help support what the Iowa Girl is all about, and that's supporting the athletes, the sports, the official training, having venues like Wells Fargo Arena to host their tournament. All those sponsors provide us with the means to satisfy our needs.
Right. So you are Tom's a Southwest Chicago guy out of the burbs, comes out to Drake, and we got your hooks into you. You got to stay now.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, I always thought coming to Drake that I'd end up back in the big city of Chicago. A lot of my friends would go to the Big 10 institutions, the Big 12 institutions, and head back to the city of Chicago. And I thought I'd do that. My first 2 years at Drake was really just itching to go back home, and then I had an opportunity to stick around here and work in Des Moines and really started to fall in love with the young professional side of life. And I've stayed here ever since. Met my wife at Drake. We just got married last year, and now we have a house in West Des Moines. So
there you go. And,
yeah.
and now you get to see this tournament. So I have to ask, did you ever go to the Illinois Girls State Basketball Tournament?
I never made it down to the state tournaments for basketball specifically.
So we're setting the bar then ridiculously high for you.
And it's been great so far. Honestly, no complaints there. I'm very very pleased with how things are going, and I'm looking forward to what the next few days bring.
Had you come down before when you were over at Drake?
You know, I had not come down before. I'd seen all the coverage. Actually, when I was working at Drake, it usually coincided with our conference tournaments in the Missouri Valley. So always had some other duties there to attend to, but always saw the news coverage and followed it along closely, but never had the opportunity to come down personally.
So as you look around and you see the fans from Dike that are starting to fill in behind us here, and the Cascade folks are starting to fill in from there, I mean, isn't it kind of fun to see how well the staff rotates through? You know, you get the holding pin, and then they release the wild fans and let them, and it comes. I mean, it's an absolute well orchestrated production here, front to back.
Absolutely, the staff does a great job here. The fans, thank you so much for coming out, and thank you for those watching at home. It's just such a cool event to see all the communities come together, come down to the well, and enjoy some great basketball.
So I asked Lisa Brinkmeyer yesterday when she sat here. I mean, she was kind of, I know what she does. You two sit next to each other there, and you can sometimes see them on camera. You're having a hard time hearing me because of the great music, and I just can't say it enough. Vince Rubino does such a fantastic job as the in-house DJ, but that's all part of the experience here.
It absolutely is, yeah. The experience is second to none in my opinion. They do a great job, AJ in production and Vince over on music, and just keeping this thing, like you said, a well-oiled, orchestrated machine to make sure that all the fans are having a great time. We got the Poncheros Dance Cam, the Delta Dental Smile Cam, the fans are loving it. And they're just having a great time here.
So I see it looks like today the uniform is the sweater vest and the tie?
You got it. The sweater vest for the men, the cardigan for the women, and then the pink shirt and optional tie.
Oh, hold that sleeve up right there.
You bet, yeah.
Look at that. That's even
embroidered with
on it.
IGHSAU on it.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Jean's something else, isn't she?
She's great, yeah. Nothing but pink, which is great.
Yeah, had a great conversation with her, and maybe we'll see some more pink later this week. You never know what'll show up.
You never know. That's right.
All right, Tom Florian, thank you so much. Good to have you here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I suppose we better let you get back to work.
I appreciate that, yeah. We'll get going. Here we go.
All right, that's Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'll bring Dar Danielson back in, and we'll get you ready for today's action. As you see, Dike New Hartford warming up behind us. Let's warm up Dar out of the bullpen. We'll make the call. We'll be back after this. This is CISN.TV.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
The Des Moines area is starting to buy trucks at Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Up to $13,000 off MSRP. Select new 17 Ford F-150s. And up to $8,500 off MSRP. Select new 17 Super Duties. Schottenkirk Ford, the truck stop. Up to $13,000 off select new F-150s. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. The truck stops here. SchottenkirkFord.com.
I don't know, just the opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know.
Hey, Nate.
Cooperation is greatly appreciated.
How you doing? Good to see you. Whoops.
We back?
We're back. I'm shaking hands with Nate Sanderson, former head coach of the Springville Orioles. What a perfect transition to talk about some of the games today, Dar.
Don't mention Springville Orioles to me.
Well, Springville knocked out the Janesville Wildcats in a regional final. Springville going for their 3rd straight state title. And 1A is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
And there's a little tie-in with Springville and Dike New Hartford. Springville was in the volleyball tournament and lost in a heartbreaker to get to the championship match there where they would have faced Gainesville. And Dike New Hartford, of course, is the perennial power in volleyball here. And so, seeing some of these, as you see in the smaller schools, the athletes participate a little more just because of the size of the school.
And it's, the commitment is a little different. The expectations are we need the best athletes in that sport, into that sport, into that sport.
Yeah. And although they do a lot of year-round training in one sport, the coaches are good about letting them go and work at the others, because and I talked with Tom Wilson a little bit about this, and some of the athletes, it's good for them to go to another sport, set aside the one that they focus on for a while, and just kind of get a refresher away from that, and then they come back and it seems like he said they're more refreshed to attack the main sport that they like.
That's funny you say Tom. Tom Wilson, now the athletic director at Dowling Catholic in West Des Moines, used to be the head football coach at Dike New Hartford, and he knows a lot of the people that are playing on this court. He still has good contacts, and one of the reasons is because of that volleyball program. Bobby Peterson is up here in the stands watching because she's got some people she's caring about that are on the court here this morning.
Yeah, her two daughters, who are like a minute and a half apart from their twins, I think, more, and they were keys on that volleyball championship squad. And I'm going to be interested to see if they get an alley-oop where they set it up and then they do a one-handed spike into the basket, if that works. If they kind of forget where they're at. But
we could ask the officials right here if they get credit for a bump set spike, if that's more points than that. So this morning, Dike New Hartford will face Cascade. Cascade 22-3. Mike Sconza's crew.
Yeah.
I think they just set the car on autopilot from Cascade to Des Moines every late February.
It's one of those things where you get the program going, you get the young kids excited about it, and you just it becomes a tradition to have winning basketball and get down here to play in the state tournament.
So Cascade will take the court here. No strangers to being down here, and then we follow with Panorama and North Union. North Union gets into the tournament knocking out the defending champion Western Christian of Hull in one of the most improbable shots that you'll see, and we'll probably see it again before the tournament's over if North Union would advance.
And Panorama, probably, I would say, the most mispronounced name in the tournament is it Panora or Panorama? People are always saying, how do you pronounce that? And
it's both.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, but don't you pronounce it Panorama?
Panorama of Panora.
And Panora, yeah.
It's the town. Oh, don't get me started on geography.
But people say, is it Panorama? Now, see, now I got that in your head, and it'll be in there all day. But,
if something gets in my head, Joe Danielson, Andy Pollock will have that game coming up today at 11:45. Then we go back down to 1A, our finale beginning at 1:30. Algona, Bishop Garrigan, and number 1 Springville, the Orioles 21-3. Bishop Garrigan gets into the tournament as well. They had a game at Storm Lake there over at Buena Vista University. They had a 3 of their own to force overtime and then took over in overtime.
The tournament, then Springville. The girls on the Springville team, but they finished second and then have won the last 2 state titles and looking to finish off with the 3rd state title as senior class.
I was writing down the lineups for today for Springville, and I look at Nahazel, Wagaman, Yeager, and it's like it's fun to. And like I've been writing those names for years,
forever, yeah,
because they have just played so many games down here. But it's a new coach, Christina Zaruba, has the squad this year, and they have a couple of losses. It's not a perfect campaign, but there are plenty of teams in this field that are undefeated, and that would include Newell Fonda, who's 24-0, and they'll face off against Key, the Hawks from Lansing.
And that third, for that is Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton, and AGWSR, the alphabet game.
Can't believe, I'm sorry about that. I went right over that.
Skipped over that one.
I was trying to get to the undefeated game.
Yeah.
My transition almost worked.
Almost worked, yeah. Well, and then 1A, there's just 2 teams back in 1A, but there's 2 undefeated teams in 1A, as you talked about, Newell Fonda and Key High up there in Lansing in northeast Iowa, and for years known as the baseball powerhouse.
Yeah. And now they've become the softball powerhouse.
Yeah, now softball, and now basketball, they're in the state tournament, so
that will be Key Lansing against Newell Fonda, Dick Junger's squad at 5 o'clock. That's a little different for him. Normally he's already put a game plan in for his semifinal. because 1A has started the tournaments of past years on Monday. Here they are playing on Wednesday. So it's the 1A and 5As that really had their schedules mixed up and flipped. 2 and 4 kind of were close. Sometimes they would play on a Tuesday. Sometimes they would play on that Wednesday. So here they are trying to settle in this ball game. So I tell you what, Newell Fonda, to me, just one of those programs that continually, year after year, again, boys and girls basketball just seem to be here all the time.
Every year you get the notes out and wait a minute, they were here last year. But then the other undefeated team, Central Decatur at 24-0, takes on Montezuma in the 2 versus 7 in the final quarterfinal at 6:45.
So here's the thing about that last game. Central Decatur, undefeated, played in Class 2A last year and came down to the tournament and played and continued that run this year as they dropped down to 1A. But it's Montezuma. Now, Montezuma is the school that you need to pay attention to for a couple of years to come, and maybe beyond that. A former Iowa State player, Hall of Famer for the Iowa girl, is now their head coach. She used to be Janelle Grimm, and now she's head coaching the Montezuma Braves.
Yeah, and that's kind of neat. We're seeing a lot of that where the shows how old we are, but the girls that we watch play now are, they're coaching, and it's fun to see that transition, the generations, and then the knowledge. And some players, the great players, they go on to coach. Others, they play college ball and they move on to something else. Tammy Blackstone, she's a lawyer now, but great color analyst. But
and we'll see Tammy a couple of times today there, Dar. She'll have that game at 6:45 tonight.
Yeah, and so it's fun to see that when the coaches come, and they take over programs, and especially sometimes when you're a great player, you're not always a good coach. Yeah, we've seen that on a lot of levels in sports, but here it seems like the good ones, they turn out good teams too.
I believe it's Shayla Wettering is the player for Montezuma to watch. She's already verbally committed to the University of Iowa, and Montezuma knocked out an undefeated North Mahaska team to get to state.
Okay, I heard part of what you said, but "Rock the Casbah" is in my ear. So
it's a good song, isn't it? All right, we're gonna let the tunes rock just a little bit more. Anything else, Dar?
No, I'm looking forward to the quarterfinals, getting those finished, and then semifinal Thursday is always, the tension ratchets up a little bit because you won that first game, you're relieved, and then the next game, not only is your season over, but you can also play for the state title if you win the next one, you know? And so it's always just a little more tension in those semifinal games too.
You get so many of these girls and you talk to them and you ask, you got past that first hump, and they're like, oh, that was so big.
Yeah.
And then I go, you do realize they only get bigger from here.
Yeah, and you don't. And then who was it? The coach I was talking with yesterday, he said, we're going to take a little time, go up to the Capitol on our day off, and kind of enjoy the moment of being down here because it does go by so fast for them. It's a blur of the game you're playing, and you're focused on game planning and that. So he said, we're just going to try to soak it in a little bit because we'll remember this, regardless of whether you win the title or not or you win a game. You remember being together and coming down to Des Moines, and that's something you'll talk about forever.
32 minutes to last a lifetime.
32 minutes?
32 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you play overtime.
That'd be 4 times 8, right? Yeah. I wasn't great in math, but I figured that one out.
But he knows basketball. That's Dar Danielson.
That's right.
I'm Paul Yeager. We're going to step it away now and continue the pregame show as Andy Pollock will get you ready for this ball game and dive in just a little bit deeper. Thanks for watching the pregame show here. It continues next on CISN.TV.
This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa, and here.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
Good morning and welcome everybody to Class 2A quarterfinal action at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Basketball State Tournament. Andy Pollock alongside Dar Danielson this morning. We have got Dike New Hartford will play against Cascade, and the winner will go on to play Friday in the semifinals. And Dar, we had a chance, this Dike New Hartford team, not necessarily a team that we expected to see in this tournament, has nothing to do with their talent, but more so who they had to go through to get to this point.
Yeah, they had a tough road to get here and got an upset to get into the tournament. And you know, they've been, we talked about in the pregame show, a power in volleyball, and getting back to the state tournament here for, I don't know how long has it been since they've been here, but I had it at my top of my head, now I can't now I can't bring it up. But anyway, yeah, and that's the thing is that you know, they got here through a big win, and we'll see if that carries over. Sometimes that does into the tournament.
And for Coach Bruce Dahl's squad, they are no strangers to a big game atmosphere, having won a volleyball title this year. But on the other end of things, we've got Cascade, and Cascade right now, they're no strangers to being in this venue, Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah, Paul and I talked, they're become a perennial team that's down here. Dike New Hartford, by the way, the first time since '92 when the 2 schools merged. It used to be Dike and New Hartford. Now they merged in '92, and it's the first time since then that they were down here. They won a 6-player title back in the '80s, but anyway.
Well, with Cascade, they're going to come out, and they don't like to be known as a slow-it-down team, but they are a team that plays scrappy, very good defense, really known for their 2-3 zone with Coach Mike Sconza.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of good defense here. We've seen a lot of man-to-man defense here, but zone can be just as effective, and sometimes you think the zone is, well, just standing flat-footed. It's not. You move around and you cover that zone, and a key to the zone is how well you move and cover for each other as you go. And it'll be fun to kind of watch that defense as they play it to perfection.
We've seen a lot of fast starts, not necessarily from a scoring perspective, but really just a pace of play. How important is it to find out which one of these teams is going to settle down and play their game first today?
Well, that's key. There's a lot of first quarters that teams who went on to win and teams who lost would like to throw out. And they kind of do. We've seen that where they start a little ragged, and then in that second quarter, one team or the other will settle in, and sometimes it's both teams, and then you get a slugfest back and forth. In some cases, the one team jumps out early, and the other team, it takes them too long to. So it's key for both teams to keep it close in the first quarter and the first half so that you have a chance in the second half to be within striking distance.
And we should have a fun one, a lot of stories to be told in this one, and it's time for pregame festivities. And for that, we go to public address announcer Gina Rogers.
Shown by Dike New Hartford High School and Cascade High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Darren Brown of the IGHSAU represented each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Dike New Hartford, Becky Johnson. And it's now time to introduce the players of today's quarterfinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the number 6 seed, Dike, New Hartford Wolverines. Number 11, Avery Coulter. Number 13, Riley Wesley. Number 15, Chloe Skipper. Number 31, Allie Aldert. Number 41, Carly Dove. Number 43, Jill Aldert. Number 45, Sydney Lumsden. Number 51, Liz Motley. And number 53, Abby Stone. Assistant coaches, Randy Holman, Ashton Diedeker, and Eric Randall. Now the non-starters for the Cascade Cougars. Number 2, Skylar Dolphin. 3, Zoe Ryan. Number 13, Morgan McMullen. Number 20, Haley Hannon. Number 24, Maida Bergfeld. Number 30, Madison Gale. Number 32, Robin Takus. Number 34, May Felton. Number 40, Holly McNeil. Number 42, Jess Hoffman. Number 50, Abby Welker. Assistant coach, Ernie Bolova. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. For the Wolverines, a 5'10" sophomore, number 3, Ellie Foster. For the Cougars, a 5'5" sophomore, number 0, Nicole Mcdermott. For the Wolverines, a 5'4" senior, number 5, Sydney Peterson. For the Cougars, a 5'7" senior, number 10, Annie Ryan. For the Wolverines, a 5'7" senior, number 21, Bailey Peterson. For the Cougars, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12, Jordan Simon. For the Wolverines, a 5'11" sophomore, number 23, Morgan Weber. For the Cougars, a 5'10" junior, number 22, Rachel Trump. For the Wolverines, a 5'10" sophomore, number 25, Katie Knopp. And for the Cougars, a 5'11" senior, number 34, Abby Rutherford. Head coach for the Wolverines is Bruce Dahl. Head coach for the Cougars is Mike Sconza. The officials for today's game are Lolly Weavers, Brad Van Rumpel, Ryan Fries, and Gary Ewald. Fans, we ask at this time that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor the United States of America with the singing of our national anthem being performed today by Union.
Thank you to LaPorte City Union High School for providing the national anthem this morning as we get set to go. Dar, as we've seen throughout the course of the year right now, Dike New Hartford can be so explosive. How important is it going to be for Cascade to really limit the runs that they go on? We saw Dike put up 25 points in the third quarter of a close game against Northwind in the regional final.
Yeah, and they'll need to do that. They're an experienced team. They lost in the semifinals last year, and they have 3 of those players back. So obviously they've looked at some of the, I'll say tape, it's video nowadays, but digital. But, with both teams, it's a matter of getting established and not letting one team run out too far to start.
For the Cougars, it'll be Trum on the jump. And for the Wolverines, Bailey Peterson, the Texas volleyball commit. And the tip is controlled by Cascade. Quickly down there, Nicole McDermott into the lane. Nothing there. She kicks out, and Cascade going to set things up. Dike New Hartford starting off in a man-to-man defense here. This is Trum again. Up top, McDermott. Covered by Knock. Little weave action going on. Trum into the lane. Very patient is Cascade. Here's Ruggeberg in her 101st game. Three-pointer on the way to start things off. No good by Ryan. And the rebound ripped out of there by McDermott. She's in the lane, and she draws first blood for the Cougars as they take the 2-0 lead.
And McDermott, the super sophomore, was on the all-tournament team last year as a freshman.
And Ruggeberg going to get called for her first foul quickly. 49 seconds into this one in the press, she got caught in a spot that she's not going to want to get caught in.
And we saw something key down there for Cascade. Dike has a little size advantage, but they got the rebound down there and got the putback, and that's going to be key. They're going to be crashing in there. A lot of hands flying on the rebound.
Foster with the ball right now for Dike. She has been what has made them go on this tournament run. That ball blocked out of there for Cascade by Jordan Simon, and she's got the ball now. Here's Ryan. Really spaced out a lot on offense is Cascade. Ruggeberg thought about 3-0 there, went in for the layup, and was not able to get it up off the glass, and that's going to go off McDermott out of bounds. Coming back the other way to Dike New Hartford. And
I think that spacing will help them on offense as they're going to go into full court pressure here.
2-1-2 look from Cascade, and they're going to challenge everything that Dike New Hartford does today. Quickly ahead, here's Morgan Weber. Kicks out on the side. This is Peterson. No good long, but the rebound and put back. In there, Katie Dock. Another one of these sophomores on the Dike New Hartford squad. 3 of them starting for the Wolverines and Coach Bruce Dahl's squad. And there we've got a travel as Annie Ryan got going a little bit quicker than she wanted to go.
Well, Morgan Weber came roaring in there. She didn't get the steal, but I think she kind of disrupted it enough that she forced the travel.
Ellie Foster going to run the show, the 5'10" point guard for Dike New Hartford. 14 points a game for her. And into the lane, tripped up. But that's Morgan Weber with the rebound and puts it in. Dike New Hartford out to a 4-2 lead. Some press from the Wolverines. Ruggeberg picks up her dribble early. And back to McDermott. She's going to run the show. Ruggeberg, long 3 on the way. In rhythm, good!
That was great recognition. Saw the defense was sagging back. She turned her back, blocked out the defender, flipped it for an easy open 3.
Ruggeberg at 5'11", but she can shoot from anywhere, and she showed that. Just nice in-rhythm shot. Here's the Wolverines back the other way. Here's Peterson. She'll be playing for her mother, Bobby, at volleyball at UNI next year. Into the lane. Nice move in the lane by Ellie Foster, and boy, did that look smooth.
Yeah, took it right through there, dribbled through the defenders with no problem.
So we've seen teams struggle to shoot in this tournament so far. Not the case in this 2A quarterfinal today.
No, there haven't been many missed shots, if any. What, maybe one?
You see Dike mixing it up right now on defense. They're out in a 2-3 zone off the make.
And they've extended it out a little bit, too.
Looking to trap. Really forcing Cascade to run their offense from a long ways away. Ryan, the quick release on the 3, no good. And another offensive rebound for the Cougars. Outside Ruggeberg. McDermott up top. Took a second for Cascade to identify the defense, and Ruggeberg's long 3, no good. Ball tipped out of there. Peterson can't hang on to it, and Cascade with another offensive rebound.
They're all hustling. Yep.
Great ball handling in the lane. Can't quite get the shot to fall, and we're going to get our second foul of the game. This one whistled on Dike New Hartford.
Right now, Cascade just out hustling a little bit on those rebounds. And for Dike New Hartford, you can't just stand there and wait for the ball to come. You got to identify somebody and block them out.
Nicole McDermott at the line. She's the leading scorer for this Cascade Cougars squad. Just a sophomore. We've seen her play here before. Only 5'5", but the one thing I've noticed about all the Cascade Cougars, they're long. They don't necessarily, you see a lot of 5'10", 5'11", but there's a lot of long arms out there, and I think that's helped them get their offensive rebounds early on as McDermott hits the pair, and now Cascade's got the lead. This is Foster up court for the Wolverines against that 2-3 zone of the Cascade Cougars. Look how aggressive they are in that 2-3 zone. Like you said, they're not just sitting up there. There's Foster, long three on the way, in rhythm, and it's good.
Well, so much for a slow start offensively.
Exactly.
For either of these teams.
This is Abby Welter into the game for Cascade. Trum has it taken away. Foster running the break, creates numbers, and she's getting fouled by Ruggerberg. That's her second, and that could be a big deal in this one as Ruggerberg, playing in her 101st game today, is the second leading scorer on this Cascade Cougar squad.
And she knew immediately. She walked over to the bench. A lot of coaches have that rule. You get two, and you sit down for a while.
There's a long three from the lefty. Katie Knock, no good. Ruggerberg, that could be a big storyline today as we're just halfway through the first quarter. She's already got her second foul. 1-3-1 out of Wolverines so far, the third different defense we've seen out of Dike, New Hartford. Into the lane, Skylar Dolphin now, and Trum can't quite get it to fall. And another offensive board, Trum on the ground getting it. Foster going to dive on top of her, and they're going to call a jump ball, and that will head to Dike, New Hartford.
And the way she covered that, she couldn't get the timeout because she smothered the ball. And so
Cascade going to back off the press here.
Yeah, early on, Dike shooting 57% from the floor. Cascade just 28%.
There's where they want the ball in that 2-3 zone. Turning around is Bailey Peterson with her first bucket of the night. Dike New Hartford so balanced in their scoring. There's always someone that can score for them. Down the other way, here is Ryan. Picks up her dribble, taken away.
Ruggerberg went out, and they seem to be on a little roll right now, Dike New Hartford.
Foster tries a long cross-court pass, and on the other side, Allie Aldrich's just not quite tall enough to haul that in. Aldrich's out there is only 5'6", and she needed to be about 6 foot tall to haul that one in.
Yeah, just a little too high on the pass. Good idea to skip it over the top of the zone, but too much on it. Sometimes adrenaline early on will make those passes a little too much.
McDermott running the show. There's a 15-foot floater on the way, and it's good, and boy, did that look pretty. See both teams mixing up their extended press so far early in this one as Cascade is backed off, but look at in their 2-3 zone. It's not the 2-3 zone that you're going to have to hit shots from the outside. Great ball movement by the Wolverines. Into the game is Carly Dove. She gets the ball to Peterson, who will go to the line for her first free throws of the day.
Fouls on the Cougars, number 50, Abby Welter, her first, team third.
And Welter with the foul. She came in for Ruggerberg, I believe, didn't she?
I believe so. So that's why. And the unfortunate thing for Ruggerberg, both her fouls have taken place about 30 feet from the basket on defense. So just caught in bad situations. So Peterson and her twin sister Sydney playing the guard court here for the Wolverines. Both will play college volleyball next year, and no shortage of D1 athletes that we've seen in this tournament so far out of every team. McDermott so quick off the dribble, comes across the block, made it. No, there's the charge called as Ellie Foster slid in under, excuse me, that's not Foster, that's Peterson. Bailey Peterson slid in underneath and got the charging foul on McDermott. Fouls adding up quickly on Cascade.
Yeah, already 4 for them here.
And all of them, or excuse me, 3 of the 4 have happened on the other end of the court. That's why part of the reason I think they backed off that press.
Well, the size and speed of Dike New Hartford, you got to adjust to that here for them.
Here's Dove. That's the spot they want to get it, but taken away. Annie Ryan swipes it right away from her. Looking to run. McDermott. Shot up and good. McDermott runs the show so well for the Cougars.
And she's so smooth on the run or stopping and popping.
Look at the slasher in the lane. Foster has it swiped away, and then looked like Annie Ryan took a couple extra steps as she was looking to run the break. But
I'm real surprised. Dike New Hartford, they're keeping the ball up high, but Cascade's still able to get in there and swipe it away from them. You always say don't bring the ball down. Well, they haven't, but Cascade's still been able to steal the ball a few times from them.
Like we said, that length of Cascade, they are not, on the measurables, not long. Up and in. quickly off the inbounds play. Morgan Weber able to put one in, and another foul on Cascade. That foul is going to be on Jordan Simon, her first. Another sophomore playing in this game, one of 5 that started in this one. So much youth. Every year we see at the state tournament so much youth, and it's made for some teams getting here very, very frequently.
Ruggerberg back in there now.
See if Dike New Hartford takes it right at her. So the Wolverines now up to a 4-point lead.
That's the biggest they've had so far.
A 1-2-1-1 look. Right to the middle is where they want to get it. Ruggerberg to Mcdermott. Ryan, cross-court pass. Yeah, Ruggerberg in. They want her to score right now. Ryan, Ruggerberg, long 3 on the way. Good! We were looking right at that one. You could tell right as she let it go, it was right on line. Foster for the Wolverines. In the middle, Dove, free throw line jump shot, no good. Rebound in there. Nice rebound by, is that Allie Aldrich who's checked into the game? And she gets another foul. And that's going to be Dove, send Dove to the free throw line. And there is going to be a decided free throw advantage for Dike New Hartford in this one.
Here's a big stat, 54% for the floor for Dike, 50 for Cascade.
We have not seen many teams at all, especially early, shoot that well.
Yeah, usually it's one team is shooting 50 and the other shooting 20 or something like that, but here both teams just gunning away. Stamina could be at the end of this game, you know.
Carly Dove, a 6'1 junior at the line, came off the bench, and she hits her second free throw. And back the other way, Dike New Hartford no longer pressing. Mcdermott. Here's Ryan. And into the lane, and that is, you get a foul on Dike New Hartford now.
And there again, that time they kept their offensive spread out. That spreads the zone out a little bit and gives those lanes to attack, and Abby Welter saw it, and boom, right through the lane and drew the foul.
Welter off the bench plays quite a bit. In fact, you'll see Cascade go 8, 9, or even 10 deep in this one. And that foul for Dike New Hartford going to be whistled on Ellie Foster. That's her first, and we'll send her to the bench for a break. Minute 10 to go here in this first quarter. 16-14, Dike New Hartford. Make that 16-15 right now. And back in for the Cougars right now, Jordan Simon checks in.
And neither team's gone on a run of more than a couple baskets in a row before the other team scores.
It's been a fun pace to this one to start. Katie Knott going to run the show with Foster on the bench. See Dike New Hartford with very good ball movement early on. Peterson way cross court. Had to get rid of it. She was falling out of bounds. Dove kicks it out. It's Peterson, Sydney Peterson. Now into the lane, Knock has it taken away. Aggressive hands everywhere, another jump ball, and that one's going to head to the other side of the court for Cascade.
Yeah, Cascade is quick. You talked about that length. They're quick to reach in and get the ball when you're dribbling. They're quick when you got it out there after the rebound. So you really got to be aware of that.
So we've seen both teams start off in the press, and now we've seen both teams call the press off, as we've seen probably the highest scoring first quarter of any game we've seen in this tournament so far. Nice move into the lane. That's Trum. She can't get it to fall. And away with the rebound is Bailey Peterson. Sister Sydney now at point guard. Taken away as she tries to get it. There's a really concerted effort for Dike. You know, what it almost does is create a fast break for you. When you can get it past that first wave of defenders in that 2-3 zone, you can really create kind of a 4-on-3 look, and that's what they're trying to do.
Skylar Dolphin kicked that one, so Dike gets it back to Hartford.
So 20 seconds to go in this first quarter. The clock had stopped there momentarily. It's running again. This is Foster back in the game. 14 seconds. Top of the key to Peterson. Long three-pointer on the way from the lefty. Good! Katie knocks it down. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. Dolphin shot on the way, no good. And we go to the first quarter break with Dike New Hartford in the lead. A great pace to start this one. 19-15, Wolverines on top. Back after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
The opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know, just the opportunity.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena, the Class 2A quarterfinal matchup in this Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament. Andy Pollock with Dar Danielson here as we've seen Dike New Hartford open up a quick 4-point lead.
Yeah, they're shooting 58.3% from the floor. Cascade 41.7%, 50% from three-point range for Dike New Hartford, 2 of 4, 2 of 6 for Cascade for 33% from three-point range. Each team's hit 3 of 5 free throw, or no, 3 of 5 for Dike, 3 of 4 for Cascade from the free throws. So, man, we'll see if this offensive clip keeps up here.
So the biggest story probably so far of that first quarter is foul issues for Cascade.
Yeah, they've got 6 team fouls. So the next one, Dike is in the 1-and-1. Dike New Hartford, their 4-point lead. That's the biggest they've had in the game so far.
Knock Weber cross court to Peterson. There, that's where they want it. Kick out to Peterson, long 3 on the way, no good, short. And the rebound is going to be knocked out of there. It is going to go off of Peterson, out of bounds. And Cascade will get possession.
Ellie Foster back in for Dike New Hartford.
She had a quick break, allowed Jill Alderts to get in the game for a few seconds. Mcdermott against the 1-2-2. Another new defense, actually more of a box-and-one look, it looks like right now for Wolverines. Now they're in man, they were just standing in the wrong spot. Love trying to identify those defenses. They do a good job of disguising it, really sagging off.
Yeah, when
Here's
they
the
sag,
Wolverines.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Knock looking to run, kicks it out to Peterson. And here's Foster running the show, back to Peterson in the corner. Knock, long 3, air ball, no good long, and the rebound corralled out of there for Cascade by Jordan Simon. Mcdermott back to Simon, thought about 3, drives into the lane, hangs in the air a long time, can't get the layup to fall. And Bailey Peterson out of there with a rebound. Foster pushes it up court. Peterson, long 3, I think it was blocked.
Yeah, they got a little hand on that.
And on the rebound, another foul whistled on Cascade. This one going to be on Skylar Dolphin, and that'll send Dike New Hartford to the free throw line for a 1-on-1.
Yeah, into the bonus with 1:14 gone in the second quarter, so they'll be shooting throughout the rest of the first half here.
Bailey Peterson to the line for her 3rd opportunity of the day. Hits the first one, and she's got 4. Yeah, just a big foul issue right now for Cascade, and really a lot of them have been in situations that just a little extra aggressive on the other end of the court as Peterson hits her 2nd. Dike New Hartford out to a 6-point lead right now on the Cougars. Mcdermott takes a second to identify the defense off the double screen. All the way in's Mcdermott, up and blocked out of there. Knock with the long arms, kicks it out. Ryan can't hang on to it. This is Trum. Back to Bruggerberg, who's back in the game. Ruggerberg, excuse me. Mcdermott. Patience out of Cascade. There, Trum decides to drive into, they give her the extension, they do, but the shot no good, and we've got a foul whistled on Dike New Hartford.
Yeah, the bump was just enough that she couldn't get it off the glass there, but almost and one. Just the 3rd team foul on Dike New Hartford.
So for the first time today, we see Cascade at the free throw line as Trum hits her first, 5'10" junior, 4 points, 5 rebounds a game. Can't get the second to fall, and out of there with a rebound for Dike New Hartford's Morgan Weber. Weber against a full court man out of Annie Ryan. Back to Foster running the show. Slasher, look at her slash in there, but she's got a lot of shots blocked. She's done a nice job getting to the hoop, but hasn't able to finish against that length of Cascade. Here's Mcdermott the other way. Simon into the lane. Couldn't get a shot off. Here's McDermott driving in, gets a gal in the air and finishes. A lot of strength out of Nicole McDermott to finish that one at the hoop.
Yeah, just good. She's got good power. She can set shot, drive.
The 6-point lead for Dike New Hartford's down to 3. Foster out to Peterson. Peterson in the lane. Nothing there. Knock. Peterson down low. That's a good look down to Weber. Weber could not get it up. Looked like it was blocked from behind by Simon. And here's Cascade with a chance to get it within 1 or tie it.
Yeah, they clamped down on the double team that time, and she could not push it through there.
Approaching the 5-minute mark of the second half. Ryan. Here's Simon. Into the lane up. Trum with it on the baseline. She gets it to fall, and Cascade has it down to a 1-point Dike New Hartford lead. 30-second timeout right now for the Wolverines. What do you think Coach Dahl is going to tell his team to try to settle things down a little bit now and kill this rally from Cascade?
Well, it was a 6-0 run, and on offensively they've been working pretty well, but it's an 11-8 advantage in rebounding for Cascade, so they got to be a little more aware on the rebounding part of it. Find somebody and block them out, because they're not getting many second looks when they do miss. They haven't missed a lot of shots, but you know, nothing to panic about. Let's just slow it down, go back to our offense, and then if there's a miss, you got to be on there and find somebody and block them out.
We really saw early that Dike New Hartford got a lot of clean looks at the basket. The Cascades really extended that defense, it feels like now, and not allowed those clean looks at the basket, especially underneath, just constantly harassing the shooters for the Wolverines.
Yeah, 6-0 run for Cascade here.
Here's the look they want. Foster, three-pointer on the way. That's way short. Rebound out of there, tipped out of there. Nice job by Trum. Back to McDermott to take it up court. Coach Sconza yelling instructions for the Cougars. In the lane, here's Trum, the right-handed layup, and just a nice job using her body to shield off the defenders. And for the first time today, Cascade has the 22-21 lead. Actually, first time since the first basket of the game, I should say. That time a foul going to be whistled down low on Rachel Trum. Had a lot of ball, but the official says she had her on the arm, and that will send Morgan Weber to the free throw line.
Well, they led 7-6.
7-6, gotcha.
After the 2-2, yeah.
Dike New Hartford had got off to they had led it by as many as 6.
But a 13-8 rebound advantage for Cascade right now.
And they've really been, it's been one and done for Dike New Hartford every time, and it's created a lot of second chance opportunities for the Cougars. Weber's second free throw is good, ties it up. As substitutions will be coming into the game soon for both teams.
It's their third tie of the ball game.
You notice McDermott every time comes down, just takes a moment, identifies the defense, as we've seen Dike New Hartford change it up quite a bit. Into the lane and back out. This is Trum. Trum up top to Zoe Ryan, the twin sister of Annie Ryan. We've got 2 sets of twins playing in the game today. They're in the lane. Trum can't get it to fall. She's a little ginger getting back up and getting down court. Dike New Hartford looking to run with numbers. Knocked a nice pass ahead inside to Peterson. She can't get it to fall, and another foul whistled on Cascade.
That time they got to pull, but that's what they got to do. They're in the bonus. They're going to be the double bonus soon on the next foul, so keep attacking that defense. That might be one of the things Coach said to them too.
Dike New Hartford, this is their 10th free throw attempt of the game. And they've hit 7 of them. Peterson with her 6th point. Dove and Aldrich checking into the game for Dike New Hartford. Into the game for the Cougars. Annie Ryan back in. And Peterson calmly nails the second. Dike New Hartford back in the lead, 23-22 as we head to the other end of the court. McDermott calling a new offensive play. Here's Ryan Ruggeberg. Ruggeberg has been quiet in 2 quick fouls, has kept her on the bench for a long time there. Peterson gets her hand on the pass, knocks it out of bounds, and the ball will stay at that end of the court. Trum, after a quick rest, is back in. Welter will have a seat on the bench for Cascade. Off the inbounds, trouble getting it in. Ball's tipped. And nice job by Mcdermott actually to go back after it after the ball was tipped. And the ball will stay here off the jump, it appears. So a different set off the inbounds play for Cascade. Oh, into the lane. Trum, nice job. She got her defender on the fake. Block from behind. Dove got a hand on it. But Trum, another rebound, another second chance opportunity for Cascade. And we're back to a tie game. What a back and forth fun game this has been. Into the lane, Peterson, 14-foot jump shot on the way, no good. And Dove is over the top of Jordan Simon, and that will be a foul whistled on Dike New Hartford, just their 4th team foul so far.
Yeah, still only their 4th, and Peterson back in, Sydney Peterson back in for Dike New Hartford. Dike New Hartford will be shooting the double bonus on the next foul by Cascade.
The pace of this game has really slowed down scoring-wise, seeing both teams settle in defensively and make some adjustments. Here's Mcdermott slashing into the lane, can't get that to fall. And the rebound taken out of there for Dike by Allie Aldrichs. Here's Foster. It's where they've really made an effort to get a nice look from Dove down low, but Weber has it blocked away, and out of there again is Cascade. They've got those looks down low that they're trying to get, but every time Cascade has got a hand on the basketball. Here's Ruggeberg back in the game, 3, no good, and the rebound for Foster.
Yeah, they're usually getting a double team down there. Last time Trum did a good job of blocking it without fouling.
Here's Weber up top, ball nearly taken away by Ryan. Peterson. This is Aldrichs, now Foster. Foster, that long first step. That's Aldrichs up top. Tries to get it down to the corner. She forced that one down low and taken out of there by Jordan Simon. 2 minutes to go in this first half, and we've got a tie ball game between Dike New Hartford and Cascade. Here's Ruggeberg. So patient is Cascade on offense.
Yeah, and they stay spread out the entire way. They never get too close to each other.
Ruggeberg baseline's blocked out of there by Dove, but I believe she's going to get whistled for the foul.
I think we're seeing, we talked about it, how sometimes teams start out in that adrenaline and they make a lot of turnovers. These two teams started out and they were just popping shots like crazy with that early adrenaline, and now it's kind of worn off a little bit and some of the shots are falling a little short here.
And they were making them.
Yeah, they were making them.
Yes. Ruggeberg's first free throw good, gives the lead back to Cascade.
Yeah, so a lot of times you come out and you're throwing it too hard and you're, a lot of turnovers early in a game, where here they were just popping the shots, and now it's kind of that early adrenaline of the state tournament's worn off and they've been missing a few shots.
And actually a pretty cleanly played game so far, only 10 total turnovers between both teams, but a lot of block shots seems to have been the main defensive MO today. Dike New Hartford, good ball movement around. Here's Foster into the lane, kicks it out. Knox, three-pointer on the way, that's offline right away, but Weber with a rebound, hangs in the air, can't get it to fall. Shot challenged hard down low, and Ruggeberg out of there with it for Cascade. This is Skylar Dolphin running the show now. Trum into the lane, hangs in the air, and they're going to get Knock, I believe.
Yep. The 5'10" sophomore.
Katie Knock just tried to reach in there and knock the ball out, and she was not happy with the call after it got whistled. So send Trum to the line, so foul starting to even up here a little bit more. Trum cannot hit the first free throw. And Nicole Mcdermott back in the game for the Cascade Cougars. She's got 10 in this one, providing most of the scoring for Cascade. Their 2-point lead right now. Trum's second free throw, no good. Up high in the air for the rebound is Weber. Weber to Foster. Foster pass out long to Peterson. Peterson, a little penetration kick out to Weber. The three-point shot, no good. Weber fouls her own shot, but can't quite haul it in, and then she gets whistled for the foul. We've had a lot of fouls now starting to add up for both teams, a long ways from the basket they're defending.
Yeah, and I think it's a little fatigue here at the end of the first half setting in. We're a little tired after that hectic first quarter pace and into the second quarter, and when you get tired, you tend to not play as good a defense. You get reaching instead of moving your feet.
So Dike New Hartford has been held to just a 5 points so far with 51 seconds to go in this second quarter. Cascade's defense has been ratcheted up as Mcdermott with her 11th point of the night. I should say day. I always feel like night, but we had a 10 o'clock start.
Yeah. This is the early game.
Wells Fargo Arena is kind of like a casino, a lot of flashing lights and no clocks. Come in here and you can spend all day and not even realize it.
Peter slept here.
Yeah.
He sleeps here overnight on the ice.
That's what these rugs are for underneath us. Not only they keep our feet warm, but they give Peter a mattress to sleep on. Into the lane, here's Foster. She can't get it to fall. Another shot, that might have been blocked by Ruggerberg as well. And Cascade looking to add to their 4-point lead with 30 seconds to go in the half.
And that's the biggest lead they've had in this game so far.
Mcdermott in the lane, kick out Ruggerberg. She's deadly from three-point land. Speaking of three-pointers on the way, good! Jordan Simon.
The Shields, three-point play.
10 seconds to go, and Cascade has opened up a 7-point lead. 5 seconds. Here's Weber. Weber loses control of it. Here's a shot. Knox going to have to get rid of it. Taken out of there by Mcdermott. And Cascade, with a great second quarter, takes a 7-point lead into the halftime break. We'll be back with our halftime statistics and halftime interviews right after this. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
It has become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
We're back here at Wells Fargo Arena. The halftime score is Cascade 31-24 over Dike New Hartford, outscoring Dike New Hartford 16-5 in that second quarter. Joining me is Joe Huck, and you are what, the Dike New Hartford expert? Is that the deal?
Oh, I've scouted them all year, and then did the scouting for the tournament game. So call me what you want, but okay. I've seen every minute these girls have played this year. So
let's talk a little bit about that. I know they've been known for volleyball, and then this year getting to the state tournament for basketball. I know you want to get to tournament basketball, but they've kind of had a lot of focus on volleyball. And did that change a little bit with the seniors, or is it just something where it just fell in place where they got some big wins and got into the tournament this year?
Well, this group of kids, especially the younger ones, have been more split between basketball and volleyball than any other class we've probably had. Coach Dahl's had them a step from the tournament a couple years. 2 out of 3 years with the previous group, so they've been to the edge here. We just needed to get over the hump to get here, and this group's been really good about trying to really prove that mentality of volleyball school, and hey, we can play basketball too. We can come come out and compete with some of the better teams in the state.
And that's the thing, in 1A, there's a lot of good teams too. So, getting in the 1A field isn't easy, is it?
No, it's not at all. I mean, when the pairings came out and they knew they had to go through Northland to get down here, they, there's a little bit of a grumbling early on about, wow, we got to go through Northland, but you just break down the film and you look at it, and the will of these kids is unbelievable. I've seen them play. We played Kennedy earlier in the year, and we're down 8 with 3 to go and hit 4 straight threes to take the lead and end up beating Kennedy. So they've got the will in them, and I know there's no panic, and they're going to be ready to go here the second half.
Well, I was talking with Andy Pollock about that, and sometimes you see those first quarters where teams who haven't been down here for a while, they fumble around and trying to find their legs, but this first quarter, both these teams are going, and part of that is Dike. These players have been in the big spotlight over in Cedar Rapids for the volleyball tournament, so playing in a big game is nothing for them, really. It's just a different sport, so I think that probably helped them a little bit in their start in this game, don't you think?
Yeah, I talked to the coaches last night, and they said the same thing, that everybody was loose, they were ready to go. I think, like you said, the big stage doesn't scare them. They've been on the big stage down in Cedar Rapids. They've done it multiple years. For a lot of these girls, it's what they know. And for this, to get in here and get a chance to play it, this I know was a huge goal for them, and for them to get into it, it's that first quarter has been the best. I'll say the best first quarter since playoffs started that they've put together.
Yeah, and for these seniors, what a little whipped cream cherry or whatever on their career. You win the volleyball title is almost a given the way they've been playing, but then to get to the state tournament and play and add another experience for these seniors is just a great thing for them too, isn't it?
Yeah, this group of 3 seniors has been absolutely great. They've worked their butts off to try and get down here, and it has been, they're still playing volleyball. They play volleyball on the weekends, they play basketball during the week, and for them to be able to split that time and continue to battle and continue to really fight through everything and to get here is just been amazing.
And imagine a lot of that experience helps with these younger players too, and bringing them along, whether it be basketball, volleyball, or any sport. When you have some good seniors, that makes the whole team better, doesn't it?
It makes it so much easier when your seniors are able to lead and are able to give you that leadership and to be the steadying hand of experience, and to have we've been 4 years down to the state volleyball tournament. We know what it's about. We know what the hoopla is all about. You put it aside, you play the game. And I think that's been the thing that they've really preached to the younger kids this year is the same thing.
So we'll use your little scouting ability here. What's the coach saying that he saw in the first half that they need to adjust to here for Cascade?
Need to expect the drives. I think that outside of their point guard was a little bit of a surprise. I think everything he saw, they didn't put the ball on the floor a lot other than the Mcdermott girl. And she's good at it. Don't get me wrong. She is great at it. And a little more on Rugsburg, making sure we know where she's at when she's on the floor.
And a little disparity in the rebounding. I imagine you want them to hit the boards a little harder there too, huh?
Yeah, that's been a disparity off and on kind of throughout the year. Weber, 23, has done a great job of chasing shots and getting after it. I saw some more hustle out of some others today that I really think if they can continue to do that it'll start to fall a little bit. I thought there was a few call it tentative shots inside that really hurt, and I think he's going to talk about finishing those and it's about our defense and making sure we know where the ball's at and rebounding it when it's available.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the start of the second half is back kind of the start of the first half, wild and back and forth. And Dike and Hartford shot 58.3% in the first quarter, then that dropped to 28. So, we'll see. We've seen a lot of that out of teams. A team that comes out of that halftime and makes a run early on sometimes is the one that gets that separation.
Yeah, and you just hope here, over the first 4 minutes of the half, you want to get yourself back to even or within a couple points of them, put the pressure back on Cascade and make them have to play and have to go a little bit harder maybe than, because I know they want to slow it down, and they're doing a heck of a job of doing that and forcing, getting the shots they want and forcing us into some bad ones. So I'm hoping that get a few points up on the board right away and close that gap a little bit. It'd be nice.
All right, well, thanks for joining us here at halftime and giving us a little insight into the behind the scenes of this ball game. And we're going to take a break here. The halftime score is 31, Cascade 31, Dike to Hartford 24. We'll be back with the second half coming up after this on CISN.TV.
For the Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau Seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the Seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the Seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
You just have to get their feet here on the pavement and be. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
Move it! Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Welcome back to halftime of the Class 2A state quarterfinal action. Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson. A quick look at some of the first half stats, and really the big story was that Dike New Hartford did not get a field goal in that second quarter, and that has hurt them a bunch.
Yeah, they shot 58.3% from the floor in the first quarter and ended up 28% for the game so far. So, yeah, it's been a struggle offensively there.
They came in, it looked like, with a very solid game plan about what they were going to do against this 2-3 zone. We saw a lot of really good ball movement, created some open three-pointers, but after the little adjustment by Cascade to kind of almost separate their defense, you see the top two of their 2-3 zone extend things out a little bit, and those bottom three, they really collapse. And they've got 5 blocks, Cascade does, in the first half, really challenging a lot of shots by the Wolverines.
Yeah, collapsing on the post, so the thing is you need to hit some of those outside shots to loosen that up a little bit, and that might be what they need here. But the good news about that is you're only down 7. You're right there within distance. It's not too far, so they can't. To start the second half, they got to be careful about not letting Cascade come out and run away a little bit too far from them.
And if you're Cascade, you got to feel good about Abby Ruggeberg. Got 2 quick fouls, and they were able to not only survive but thrive with her on the bench as they went from being 6 down to now taking a 7-point lead.
Yeah, they set her down, and this is an experienced team, and they're used to, somebody goes out, they step up.
So we get ready to start the second half. Dike New Hartford in their black jerseys and blue numbers with white trim. Cascade in their white jerseys with, I would call it, royal blue and gold trim. Dike New Hartford will be shooting at the right side of the screen as we look at things here. This is a knock for the Wolverines. See what sort of adjustments Coach Dahl has for his young but experienced squad. Into the lane, shot cannot fall for Foster, and Dike New Hartford now with a rebound. Did not see too many of those in the first half. They get it down low on the post. Peterson can't get it to fall, and out of there with a rebound for Cascade is Rachel Trum.
Yeah, 20-13 rebounding edge for Cascade in that first half.
We did not see very many second opportunities for Dike. Here's Ruggerberg. It's where they want to get against 2-3 zone. They identify that defense so well right away. Dike has thrown a lot of looks at them, and they've handled, from the beginning, they've handled every look. Here's Mcdermott Ryan long three on the way, and that's a Shields three-point play for Annie Ryan, and Cascade continues their hot shooting from the second quarter. Here's Knock into the lane. Foster with some contact, able to get it to fall. We've seen Foster, and I've brought it up before, she's a slasher, and that was one of the first times that she's been able to get the shot to fall.
Yeah, and that ends a 10-0 run by Cascade.
In the corner, set shot on the way, long two, no good from Jordan Simon. And Bailey Peterson out of there with it for Dike. Here's Foster the other way. Cascade started off in a press, but they've been exclusively that half-court 2-3 zone, and they play it well. You do one thing, and you do it really well if you're Cascade. Here's a long three on the way, short, no good for Weber.
Foul on the rebound,
And it looked like Knock came away with the rebound.
Yeah, and Simon got the foul.
Oh, no, they called it on Knock.
Oh, they call on Knock? Oh, I thought she had position. Looked like to me.
Yes.
She was on the inside of it there, but.
So Dike going to try to up the tempo here. And Cascade breaks the press very easily. He's Ryan all the way untested and can't get the layup to fall. Peterson tried to slide underneath her to get a charge. Good no call there by the official. And here's Foster quickly back the other way with it for Dike.
She did enough to disrupt the shot, though, too, because you got to worry about the offensive foul.
Long three on the way. This is Peterson and quite a bit short. And Trum out of there with it for Cascade.
And there again, not a second chance for Dike. They haven't had too many of those.
Mcdermott has done such a nice job running the show today for Cascade. She's got 12 points in that first half, a steal, a block, an assist, done a little bit of everything. And there, as I say it, another Shields three-point play. This one for Nicole Mcdermott. Coach Dahl wants a timeout for Dike New Hartford. It's a full one. We'll take one as well. Cascade out to an 11-point lead in this third quarter on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power price, $99 per month lease. $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox. $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs. $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price Event. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. The Power.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines on probably the darkest, dreariest day we've had so far this Girls State basketball tournament.
Yeah,
extra
still not
cup of
bad.
Coffee this morning, right? And Cascade has come out, did not miss a beat from where they ended the third quarter as they've extended their defense, and Dike New Hartford just not getting any good looks at it. Here's another steal away. Annie Ryan with it. Thought about running and then decided to kick it out. Cascade's been so good in the half-court set after they settled things down. As I say that, Ruggerberg double clutches on her pass and gets whistled for the travel.
She stood and looked at the referee a long time on that. I don't think she thought she traveled, but a 6-2 run by Cascade to open the third quarter.
Jump stop into the lane, another steal away. Ryan's done a great job. Look and run all the way down. She goes and couldn't get a handle on it. Wisely kicks it back out. Nice long move into the lane for Rachel Trum, and she's going to get blocked by Weber, and Weber going to get whistled for the foul. She covered, Rachel Trum covered so much ground on those two steps, was just inside the three-point line and made it almost for a layup.
Yeah, it looked like she got a lot of ball on that, but extends the lead to the largest at 12.
So
Saw the replay there.
Dike New Hartford, after scoring 19 points in the first quarter, has scored 7 in the next 12 minutes of competition. And they've all been at the, 5 out of the 7 have been at the free throw line. Into the lane, the extra step in there for Abby Welter, and she extends this lead for the Cougars.
Man, that just looped over the top of the defense.
And we're going to get a reach-in foul there whistled on, I believe, Ryan. As with her and McDermott at the top of that 2-3 zone, just constantly harassing whoever's got the ball for Dike New Hartford.
And for Cascade, Dike New Hartford got in the bonus on fouls early on, but it didn't really hurt Cascade that much.
It's really been the only way Dike New Hartford's been able to score off the inbounds play. Knott can't get it to fall. Peterson up with it, no good. And out of there is Ruggerberg with a rebound. Yep. Here's Dolphin now running the show. McDermott going to be the shooting guard in this set. McDermott has just been excellent today. Ball taken out of there. Nice job out there by Ellie Foster. And we have got a mix-up on the floor. We had a jump ball, I believe. Yes, it's going to be called jump ball, and that's going to stay with Cascade.
Or Cascade, I'm sorry.
So this will be Jordan Simon taking it out of bounds right in front of us here on the, I believe we would be considered the east end of the court in Wells Fargo. I don't think I got turned around too much in here. Simon. 3-point shot.
Well, that'd be south, right?
South? I'm not sure.
That's north-south.
Okay.
We had this discussion last night. We
Right.
get confused in here.
All right.
North and south, right?
And into the lane, there's Foster. And she takes an extra step. As once she gets in the lane, I mean, we have got Cougars all over her when she steps in the lane. So, yes, we're on the east side of the court on the south end of the half court.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
We're on the east side. Okay. Yeah, the court is north-south. We're sitting on the east side. Okay.
Cascade against some pressure from Dike New Hartford. Here's Dolphin. Dolphin in the lane, decides to kick it back out to McDermott. Back to Dolphin, just inside the NBA line. Can't get it to fall. And a loose ball on the court, and Knock takes a shot. She's hurting down there for Dike New Hartford. It was right into her left arm, and you could see right away the look on her face as Dolphin dove into her, and she's in some pain.
Yeah, I thought Dolphin, I would have called a foul on her. She dove right in there. Well, she wasn't in the play when it was on the ground, but nothing called. But, I know you let some contact go, but.
If there's one thing we've seen in this tournament, though, when there's a loose ball, it's no holds barred.
Yeah,
they're letting everything go. Yep.
But when you have 2 on the ground and then a third comes diving into the pile, sometimes that's, I don't know. That's why I'm not an official. I'm sitting over here.
It's fun, the different vantage point you get being this close to the court when you see all the contact that goes on, the facial expressions. Dike New Hartford is really their game plan has been to get it right there, and Cascade knows that's their soft spot, and they just swarm it when they get it to that free throw line.
And they're just having all kinds of trouble finding that offense that came so easy in the first quarter.
Dolphin kicks it over to Ryan, tipped out of there by Peterson. We've talked about the amount of Division I athletes we've seen. I can't imagine there's a individual location where you'll see this much D1 talent in Iowa in high school, other than the Iowa Girls State Tournament. It's been impressive, and it's not just state schools either. We've seen young ladies going everywhere. Into the lane there is Welter. She can't get it to fall. The other thing that we've seen, the teams that have been most successful so far are the ones that have, as we see the long shot no good by Foster, the teams that have been successful have had not just one scorer, in a lot of cases not just 2 scorers, but a third and fourth scorer that have stepped up and really allowed them to be successful here.
Yeah, you got to have a little help, because then you can't double up on the big scorer. You have to have help. And then we've seen in the tournament some players haven't scored a lot but have stepped up in the tournament to help out.
Dike New Hartford trying to get some defense to create offense for them, and it's just not working so far. And Ruggerberg once again takes that extra step. And that's another thing we've seen down here is a lot of travel calls.
Yeah.
Not just in this game, but all the games so far.
That's one thing they call tightly here is the travel. If you shuffle those feet, it's when you establish that pivot foot and then move it.
And that's what Dike New Hartford's been trying to do as they get the ball to the high post and use the high-low game from Dove to Weber. But once again, I mean, Cascade gets another hand on the ball. And, you know, Coach Sconz is 4-1 in first-round games here at the state tournament at Wells Fargo Arena, and he knows how to win them, no question. Up top, here's Weber driving into the lane. She gets the ball blocked from behind, and look of disbelief on Jordan Simon's face is from our angle. It sure looked like she got a lot of ball. So this will send Sydney Peterson the line. We mentioned before, Peterson, one of the twins, out here with her sister Bailey for Dike New Hartford. Both will play Division I volleyball next year. Sydney here will play for her mother at the University of Northern Iowa. So Dike New Hartford trying to get back into this game, and so far most of the damage has been done at the free throw line. There they almost get a steal. Weber does a great job to keep it inbounds, but out of there with it is Simon. Here's Trum. Back to Mcdermott. Mcdermott so smooth in the lane.
Yeah.
Kisses it off the glass and in. Every time you think Dike New Hartford might be coming back into it, well, there's a three-pointer, a Shields three-point play by Peterson. But Cascade's had the answer every time in this third quarter. And Dike New Hartford, Weber comes up with a steal, gets it into Peterson. Back to Weber, Dike New Hartford looking to run 4-on-1. It's 4 on Mcdermott, and Weber tried to do something with it, tried to get rid of it, and great job by Mcdermott to hold her ground and really made her second-guess herself and got the travel.
Great defense there to make her think about it, and that one hesitation, she took an extra step and turned it over.
Dike New Hartford is up the tempo a little bit here. Here's Mcdermott. Mcdermott recognizes no one was on her, drove into the lane. Ruggeberg with it now. Mcdermott posting up. Nice dish inside. Can't get it to fall. And down low is Jordan Simon, and she will go to the free throw line to shoot two. What a great job by Nicole Mcdermott. You know, we've seen her play here before, just a sophomore, and so smooth out on the basketball court.
And the great scorers can feel when they're double teamed or triple teamed, and then they look for the open player, and that's what she did that time.
At the line, Simon with her 4th point of the morning.
Part of being a good scorer is knowing when not to shoot and when to pass it, and that's what we see out of the good ones. When they're double teamed or triple teamed, they don't force it. They kick it out to somebody else.
She's got such a great feel out there on the court. Second free throw by Simon is good as well.
She'll get a rest.
How about this defensive effort of Cascade after the first quarter? Incredible. Have only given up 12 points.
Yeah, you'd like to see Dike New Hartford if they could get it below double digits here into the fourth, but there's Ruggeberg with the rebound.
Dove can't get that to fall. You see Cascade just a step ahead of Dike New Hartford right now on defense. They know right where those cutters are coming from. Long three, no good for Ruggeberg, and Dove out of there with a rebound. And as Mcdermott reaching in to try to get the jump ball, Coach Sconza not happy with the just one of those little situations where not something you need to do, and all that's going to do is help Dike New Hartford down the road.
Yeah, she had pretty well secured that, but again, that's playing hard, and they played hard, and it really, you know, this half they've only had 4 fouls where they were into the bonus early in the first half.
Top of the key, Peterson out to Peterson. The bounce pass inside, stolen out of there by Ruggeberg. And back the other way, here's Cascade. 40 seconds to go in this quarter, and they're in no rush.
Double
setting
blow
up the
action.
offense.
Yeah.
Inside, they try to force it to Ruggeberg as Ryan. She gets it tipped back to her. Mcdermott into the lane, the floater, good. Man, just a nice soft kiss off the glass. I'm not sure what more I can say about this game of Nicole Mcdermott.
She uses that square on the glass very well.
Annie Ryan with a steal coming back. She's going to dribble all the way in, the layup off her right hand, and Cascade, just like that, has extended their lead to 17 points. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Knock, long three on the way short, and it has been all Cascade since the first quarter of this Class 2A quarterfinal action. They're going to take a 48-31 lead into the fourth quarter against Dike New Hartford right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face. remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me. Because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Welcome back to fourth quarter action here at Wells Fargo Arena, where Cascade has opened up their largest lead of the game at 17 thanks to some hot shooting. But more importantly, what's created that for the Cougars is just some harassing defense.
Yeah, and you look at the trend, 15 points in the first quarter, 16 in the second, 17 in the third for Cascade. Well, Dike New Hartford scored 19, then 5 and 7. So they started out hot but haven't built on it. And Cascade has the rebounding edge.
They're
28-21,
not going to try the long three, and not will fall. There, Weber dribbles out. She's going to let the three-point shot go, and Dike New Hartford's going to need a few of those if they're going to get back in this game quickly into the 2-2-1 press. Dolphin gets it to the middle. That's where they want it. Trum over to Ruggerberg.
And the problem is the Cascade's very good at breaking the press.
Yeah, they are. They're just fundamentally, they're very good at what they do, and I love the energy that Coach Sconza brings to the game. What a move in there by Trum. Can't get it to fall, gets her own rebound again, and can't get that to fall either. Wolverines looking to run a little bit. Nice behind-the-back move, and Annie Ryan quickly to help up Foster. Some great sportsmanship there as Ryan knew she got her with her knee just a little bit. Everyone's okay, and we'll play on.
Yeah, Coach Sconza, he's over there up and down the sideline, pointing where he wants them to go, keep it spread out.
Brings a lot of energy to this game. Weber thought about three again. She's hit a couple. Foster into the lane. Great defense by Nicole McDermott. They're not going to try the three. She can't get it to fall over the back of the rim. And the Cascade will get possession here with just 7 minutes left to go. And we've seen some big comebacks in this tournament so far. We'll see if Dike New Hartford has any magic left in him, or if Cascade, who easily breaks the press right now. McDermott decides not to run, though, decides clock is more important than points right now. Ruggerberg to Ryan. And Weber got in front of that one. Look out, folks. Here comes Weber all the way down. Right-handed layup up and blocked from behind by Trum.
That'll look pretty clean.
A lot of ball,
but
but
got the body.
Just enough body, yep. That'll send Morgan Weber to the line. Weber, another sophomore playing in this game. We mentioned there's been a bunch of them. A lot of youth out here. She calmly hits the first free throw.
And that's the way to get back into it here.
Weber averages 11 points a game this season, and she hit it with that free throw. So Dike New Hartford has it down to 12. Slowly working their way back in. Here's a long pass across court for Cascade. They break the press once again. Cascade, they know right where they want to get against every defense that Dike New Hartford's thrown at them. McDermott. And Weber's going to grab on to Jordan Simon as she comes across the lane. That will, excuse me, I'm looking at fouls the wrong way. We're a few fouls away yet from Cascade going to the line.
Yep, fourth on Dike New Hartford.
You know, I got to give Coach Sconza credit, though. I mean, as we saw a lot of fouls mount up in that first half, it really didn't change their game plan. In fact, it might have even made it more aggressive on defense as we watched them. They had so many blocks in that first half, and some that don't even show up in the stat book of just deflects that really threw Dike New Hartford out of rhythm on offense. Trump, nice move. She hung in the air a long time, but couldn't quite get it to fall, and then Knock can't gather in the rebound. It goes out of bounds and will stay with Cascade.
Just Katie Knock out jumped that rebound. She was higher than the ball and came down with her hand and tried to pull it in, and she couldn't quite. It's just a bad carry him off the rim for her.
A lot of athleticism on the court. We've seen a lot of high verticals out there today. Ruggeberg on the handoff to Trum. Ruggeberg's had a couple long shots today. Other than that, has been held pretty much in check. She's got 8. Here's Mcdermott into the lane. Mcdermott able to use her body, used it so nice. Just great body control out of the young sophomore.
Well, that time Weber came with a little chop, and that's going to get a foul most times.
And that's a big one. That's Weber's 4th, and she's needed if Dike New Hartford is going to find themselves back in this ball game. She averages, you just said, 11 points a game, and that's where she stands right now, leading scorer in this game for DNH. Dermott hits her second. It's a 13-point lead for Cascade now. Under 6 minutes to play. Foster's been quiet. It's been her play that's really helped Dike New Hartford get this far, and she's had trouble penetrating that zone of Cascade today. Here's Weber down in the corner. Weber drives in, up with a shot, couldn't get it to fall, and fouls her own shot out of bounds. It is going to go to Cascade on the other end. Weber's another one of those players that just hangs in the air for a long time. Ryan, long cross-court pass. Ruggeberg decides not to run with it. Handoff to Mcdermott. Ryan spots up for 3. No good. Probably a little earlier, or I was going to say early in the shot clock, but just a little early in the possession, I should say, than Coach Scons would want. Peterson lets it clear. A little Peterson to Peterson action, and Dike New Hartford's got it down to an 11-point game. It's been a game of runs so far. There, Cascade looking to run. Here comes Ryan again, and she travels with it. Got moving just a little bit quick, so Dike New Hartford now with a chance to cut it back to single digits.
Hustle by Ellie Foster forced that one that time. But we're seeing Dike New Hartford start to fly around the court a little more, trying to get that steal.
The next foul on Cascade will put Dike New Hartford at the line. Dike New Hartford has 1 to give yet. Peterson up top to Foster, back to Peterson. Baseline drive. Nice interior pass to her sister, up off the glass. No good, but that will send Bailey Peterson to the free throw line for 2. So slowly but surely, Dike New Hartford working their way back into this game. And they've got it down to 10 for the first time since the second quarter, just at the beginning of the third quarter, I should say.
Yep.
McDermott checks back into the game for Cascade. She's been so good today. And Dike New Hartford has it back down to single digits. Look out. Ruggeberg. Long pass is stolen away. Knock gets a hand on it. Knock all the way in. Up with the layup, no good. And McDermott whistled for the foul. And there's 2 more free throws for Dike New Hartford.
Cascade a little trouble on the press here. We saw them earlier breaking it easily, and I think they're going to take a timeout and talk that over.
Coach Sconza not happy with his team right now. He's going to settle them down a little bit. Dike New Hartford's worked their way back in, a chance to cut in that lead even more. We'll be back right after this with a final 4:31 on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Miss your hometown.
And welcome back to fourth quarter action here at Wells Fargo Arena. Andy Pollock, Dar Danielson in a game that looked like was about to get out of control. Cascade looked to be comfortably in the lead, and slowly but surely Dike New Hartford, primarily at the free throw line, has found themselves now with a chance to cut it to 7.
Yeah, Coach Sconza called a timeout. I think he wants them to get their press breakers set, not panic so much. They've been breaking the press pretty easily, but the last couple times they've forced into turnovers here on the Dike New Hartford press.
And they've been doing it with long passes, long cross-court passes.
Yeah.
That's how they've broken the press. Dike New Hartford starting to anticipate those quite a bit better as Knock cuts it to 8.
Yeah, and too much dribbling. You can't break the press on the dribble. For the most part, you got to pass it.
Dike New Hartford, who went out of their full court press there in the middle part of the first quarter, has brought it back, and it's worked out well for them. Mcdermott swings it over. This is Simon. Long cross-court pass to Ruggeberg. We've got a 7-point game. Cascade looking to milk some clock. Ruggeberg picks up her dribble a little bit early. Pressure defense from Peterson. Here's Ryan. Trum. We haven't seen Mcdermott handle the ball yet. Baseline move. Ruggeberg up with a shot. No good. Gets her own rebound. Up with it. And she gets fouled from behind by Ellie Foster. You know, Ruggeberg, as she drove in on that, still found herself in great position to get her own offensive rebound.
Yeah, came right back down to her. Could break a 6-0 run here by Dike New Hartford. And she does.
Cascade the lead back to 8, just under halfway through this fourth quarter, which has started to become a lot more entertaining than it looked at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Ruggeberg calmly hits the second, and we're back the other way with Foster. Tipped away. Ryan with her hand on another ball. Back up top. This is Knock. Knock out to Weber. Long pass over here. In the middle, this is Foster. Foster could not quite get control of the ball as she went up, had it knocked away a little bit, and shoots it off the pad on the side of the hoop. Yeah, she was
still moving as she kind of tried to get the shot and throw it at the basket.
Cascade looking to burn some clock. Baseline move is going to get tipped out of bounds and is going to go off of Rachel Trum. The officials looked at each other, and Raleigh Weavers decides that it's going to go to Dike New Hartford.
Well, he checked to make sure that he didn't see.
Great entry pass from Foster down low to Peterson.
So the one official checked the other one to make sure he didn't miss something on the tip, and then he called it for Dike New Hartford, and then they turned it in to a foul on the other end.
That's a long entry pass right there as Peterson had the defender on her hip. Foster identified it. That's a good spot to get the ball in the zone. If you can make that pass from up here down low, that's a tough look to defend. Peterson doing a bulk of her damage at the free throw line today. Long pass ahead. Here's Ryan. Mcdermott picks up her dribbles. Ryan's going to set things up. Ruggeberg. Dike New Hartford really extended their defense. Mcdermott in. Kicks it back out to Ryan, and they're going to reset things with Ruggeberg. Little three-man weave action for Cascade. Dike New Hartford going to have to extend their defense quite a bit. Cascade just playing keep away right now. Long pass over to Trum. Trum into the lane, can't get it to fall, but she's going to get fouled. It's going to be whistled on Foster, who's got 4. So Dike New Hartford's primary scoring threats in Foster and Weber, each with 4 fouls. Trum hits her first.
And up to that point, Dike New Hartford had outscored them 13-3 in the fourth.
Trum has really stepped up today. She only averages 4 points a game and just gets up to her 10th right there in double digits. Foster. Corner, here's Peterson. Down to Foster again, posting up, and again Cascade with another block, ripped out of there by Trum. And Cascade now does such a nice job on the offensive end playing keep away, but Mcdermott decides to force the action. What a move by Nicole Mcdermott. Doesn't even use the glass, gets it off nice and soft and gets it to fall, and the foul.
Fought through the contact there, able to get the ball up off the glass.
There was just a little stutter, as you see right here, just a little stutter at the top there, and kind of it made it look to us like she was going to pull the ball back. As she completes a three-point play, it looked like she might be pulling the ball back, and just like that, explodes to the hoop, and just a nice soft teardrop. We've got a timeout whistled for Coach Bruce Dahl and Dike New Hartford as they're going to talk things over. Full timeout. We'll take a break as well, thanks to some of our sponsors, and be back right after this on CISN.TV.
Strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
And we're back to live action on the court here at Wells Fargo Arena. Andy Pollock, Dar Danielson on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Thanks for finding us on the web this morning. As Dike New Hartford's Sydney Peterson has her shot shoved right back in her face.
Jordan Simon says, no, none of that.
Just another block for Cascade. Quickly off the inbounds play. Foster can't get it to fall. And Cascade has really dictated the tempo of this game since the first quarter as things have worn on. And we've got a quick foul over here in front of us on Sydney Peterson.
Cascade survived a 6-0 run there that cut the lead down to 7 at one point, but then they've come back, and that's basketball, surviving the runs, and they did it there and got it back up to double digits.
And we knew how explosive Dike New Hartford could be, and we really saw that in the first quarter as they put up 19, probably one of the higher scoring first quarters we've seen in this tournament so far, but Cascade survived it, really settled in and played their game from that point on. So, and some excellent defense from the Cougars after the first quarter. That free throw falls.
And credit the coach for calling that timeout and getting things straightened out on their press break.
Yes, that's what really stalled that drive. Here's Weber into the lane. Weber, another block. Another one by Jordan Simon. Two-handed block. Looked like a volleyball block at the net right there.
Yeah.
And we've got a 14-point lead for Cascade. D&H extending their defense out. Ruggeberg. Peterson's all over her. This is Mcdermott. They don't want to foul her, but they don't want to foul either one of these two, but Cascade knows it, and that will send Ruggeberg to the free throw line. The two leading scorers for the Cascade Cougars, Nicole Mcdermott and Abby Ruggeberg, just playing keep away up here at the top of the key.
And Ruggeberg hitting about 74% from the free throw line too, so.
Ruggeberg has been playing a long time for Coach Sconza. This is her 101st game today for Cascade that she has played in. And when you think about it, it takes 25 games just to get to the state tournament, so that tells you a little something about the tradition that they've got at Cascade.
Yeah. And that means she's been in the starting lineup for quite a few games.
Yes.
Well, maybe not starting. Some of those she may have come in, but played that many.
Played, yep. A lot of experience as she misses that free throw, but Annie Ryan with a rebound for Cascade. Kicks it back out, a chance to burn some more clock for Cascade. And once again, we got Mcdermott and Ruggeberg up here at the top of the key. That one to Simon, Ryan, Mcdermott, who's done such a nice job running the show today. She's got 20. Dike New Hartford extending their defense, but it might be too little too late right now with just over a minute to play. They trail by 15.
Yeah, and with the ball handling Cascade, this is where, you move it around. You got your top two free throw shooters up there at the top handling the ball.
Little playground keep away here. Simon goes to make a move, and she's tied up by Bailey Peterson.
But it'll stay with Cascade.
And it looks like a timeout going to be whistled for Cascade. Just a quick 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But, Dar, we've talked about this game quite a bit here. Dike New Hartford really excited for this town to be at the state tournament, as we mentioned in the pregame show, not because of their talent, but because of who they had to go through to get here. They upset #1 North Lynn. So the first time that Dike New Hartford's been here in a long time, for the first time ever as a school. But Cascade it was interesting to see the start that Dike New Hartford got out to, because they looked like they had been the ones that have been here for several years in a row. Not Cascade, but then you really saw Cascade settle down and beginning to play their game.
Yeah, and the experience of Cascade, they survived that early flurry, and it didn't phase them. Then they survived that 6-0 run in the fourth quarter here where Dike New Hartford made the run back. And that's where that talent and experience comes down here at State, when you know those runs are going to happen and how well you come out of those runs, and they didn't give the lead back.
Looks like coach is beginning to clear their bench right here, and we've got another timeout whistle right after they get the ball in. Must have been too late getting the subs in, but both teams going to empty their bench and give several other girls a chance to set foot on the court here at Wells Fargo Arena. Try to get some of these names here. Get everybody mentioned. Carly Dove back in the game for Dike New Hartford. She's played quite a bit today. We've also got Avery Coulter. We've got Jill Alderts, who's been in the game already. We have got Sydney Lotwisen. And we have got Riley Wesley in there for Dike New Hartford. And for the Cougars, we have got Haley Hannon. We have got, we've got someone that's not on the roster. Do we have a number 14 on there?
For who?
For Cascade. We've got Madison Gale in the game. We've got Maida Bergfeld. And we have got, as well, Robin Takis. Three-point shot on the way, no good for Maida Bergfeld. And the rebound comes out of there. This is Sydney Lotwisen. Dike New Hartford to the ball. This is Coulter. She's got it again. And look at Cascade. Everyone knows how to play the 2-3 zone. As Dove's pass a little bit too tall for Carly Dove.
Chloe Skipper into the ball game for Dike New Hartford.
And we've got under 25 to play now. Here's our mystery gal for Cascade.
Don't have her name on the roster.
Waiting for maybe a text or a Facebook post to come through to let us know who it is. In the middle of the lane, look at Cascade. They know right where they want to get it. Three-point shot of the way! A Shields three-point play for Madison Gale. And that gives her a nice memory for this tournament. 4 seconds to go, and Cascade is going to advance on to the semifinal action in Class 2A. A 61-44 victory over Dike New Hartford.
They'll play at 11:45 on Friday against the winner of the game coming up, Panorama and North Union.
North Union, we'll talk about it here shortly when we get into the pregame for that one, but they have a viral shot after a banked long three-pointer to make it this far in the tournament. But it's all Cascade after the first quarter today, as Dike New Hartford out to the quick lead, but they were not able to hang on, and Cascade's defense really settled down, and the Cougars move on in this tournament today. And for the trophy presentation, we will go to public address announcer Gina Rogers.
Please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving plaques, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Bruce Dahl and the Wolverines from Dike New Hartford on an outstanding basketball season. Cascade Cougar fans! Your team advances to the Class 2A semifinals will be playing the winner of Panorama and North Union on Friday at 11:45. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance. Our next quarterfinal matchup will begin shortly.
So that'll put a wrap on the bottom half of this 2A, on the top of the bottom half of this 2A bracket. Dar Danielson, it was a game of runs today. You've got some final statistics.
Yeah, the fourth quarter ended up 13-13, but that third quarter was a 17-7 advantage for Cascade. Overall, Cascade ended up shooting 40%. Dike New Hartford almost 24%. They shot 58 in the first quarter, scored 19 points, but that was their biggest quarter. And final stats here, Bailey Peterson leads Dike New Hartford with 13. Morgan Weber with 11. 7 for Ellie Foster and Katie Knock. And 5 for Sydney Peterson. 1 for Carly Dove. For Cascade, 11 for Abby Ruggeberg. 10 for Rachel Trum. 8 for Ann Ryan. And 20 for Nicole Mcdermott to lead all scorers in the ball game. 8 also for Ann Ryan there. 2 for Madison Gale. 3 for Abby Welter. So Cascade weathers the storm, and they move on to the semifinals on Thursday.
And you've had a chance to see some of those highlights there of the game so far today. We'll take a break here. Once again, the final, Cascade over Dike New Hartford, 61-44. We'll be back with North Union and Panorama here in about 10 minutes here. Thanks for watching Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Tournament Basketball on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Thanks for watching our live coverage of the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. You can check CISN.TV for a replay of this game. The free coverage of today's game was presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers, and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
And there's the travel. I expect Riley Jacobs.